Greetings, mortals, and welcome back to the death of Freakonomics.
I was watching an Unlearning Economics video and didn't notice that it had been several minutes. How's it going? Unlearning Economics is a interesting YouTube channel. Let's see here. And as someone who read the original Freakonomics book, I can fully understand what the topic is. It's wild to be watching a video about from Unlearning Economics and actually being sufficiently aware of the source material that I'm like, oh, I actually understand everything that's happening right now. Amazing. So, I have not checked whether the link is updated. I don't know if there's a new thing. I'm assuming not, because I think that they're most actively working on the thing. I did not fix the thing. I'll try to fix that over the weekend. But the error that I was getting is now known. It's tied to an installation problem where I have the wrong version of the merge mod or something. I think it's the multiplayer component of the merge mod or something. So I need to click on. I guess let's first just link before I forget about that, and then we'll check and see if there's an update. Copy. And whoop. So that's linked, and now we take a look at info and links. We'll look at this page, and we'll see when the last update was hours ago. So that means we're going to download the new version. Let's see. Well, that patch I already have, but according to GitHub, scripts was updated 8 hours ago. So it should have additions beyond what they had yesterday. Okay. GitHub is a black hole. I'm not sure what you mean contextually. Oh, yeah, the changelog is not always up to date. There have been the thing that added in the ability to change the any was added, but then I actually had to and that would have been 2 days ago actually. But that was because yesterday I was doing Wardens of Chaos. But there was a thing that added that patch had the unfortunate side effect that it basically removed the cooldown for attacking if you didn't have a bow equipped and you hit the A button when something wasn't in range to attack. It just skipped the character, right? Which doesn't seem like that big a deal, and then you realize, oh wait, when I'm doing melee kiting and stuff like that, it gets way easier because there's no delay if I miss, right? If I miss the timing, there's no punishment for it. So I ended up having to revert it. Then Malekith put in a thing to basically have it, instead of being no delay, it just mirrors the delay on your melee attack, which was great, except it broke. and then it had to be fixed. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing at the end of stream a couple of days ago. But it was a good time. So, there's some new patch that's been changes to the alchemy system or something. I don't know. And we're gonna get our little error here because I haven't fixed it yet. But I don't think it causes any problems other than being sad. So we're loading Lich Stitch. We've got some good information. I'm gonna do it. Okay, we got it. Before anybody said anything, I got there. We changed the scene. I should probably have a hotkey for that, but it's just such a nuisance because I use so much of my keyboard when I'm doing the actual gameplay that, like, creating hotkeys for Streamlabs is like, well, what am I going to use as a hotkey that's less convenient that's more convenient than just tabbing out, considering I use the whole keyboard depending on what I'm doing, right? Like, most streamers could probably use, like, delete and insert and, like, all those things. I can't do that. I play Might and Magic. Like, there's so many buttons on the keyboard, and I use all of them. Okay, so we were going to level up before we jump into the next thing, I believe. I don't remember what we were going to do. I think we were going to train to expert.
Well done.
Hi, H-Bomb. Okay, so we've got... Every time I see him out of the corner of my eye, it confuses me. You're already an expert. You need skill 8. You don't have skill 8. You're not going to have skill 8. Okay. So we aren't getting expert axe. I don't know why I thought I was getting expert axe right now. We can actually get master axe on Cheesesteak, which would be pretty good. But we'll see. So, you're set. Why was it important that I train? I was important that I train because we want to have the maximum amount of time to play with before we start getting exhausted. Yes, that makes sense. So, what else do we need to do before we go for it? I should have... I guess it wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter when I train because it doesn't set my time. It just sets me for a few days. It doesn't get me out at 8 o'clock anymore. So that would be an efficiency increase because 3 o'clock is the cutoff either way. So we don't have to worry about that. Have I done... I think I've done a sufficient amount of inventory management for now. I don't think there's anything in my inventory that's going to make a really major difference. But we are in for a very difficult day today. Today is it's going to be hard. We have 2 saves after we've made the 2 initial saves. So we need to figure out how we are going to make this work. We have not picked up the fly spell. We've not picked up any meaningful buffs, unfortunately. We have haste, but we don't have expertise. I don't think we can get it, right? Oh, we can get expert, actually. So, hypothetically, we could learn the haste spell and use it for our purposes here. But I don't know when we're going to want to do that. So, we're going to go ahead and just save over here, but we're going to save under danger. The reason being that this is going to be probably a fairly long expedition, and though I guess maybe not, it might not be that long in actual game time. So the idea that we're going to spend multiple days before we get out of this dungeon is probably unlikely, but it's fine. The reason that it's relevant is, in addition to the weakness proc, when the weakness proc happens, you also lose a food. And losing a food would mean that I would have 1 less save than I think that I have. So, let's demonstrate what the actual routing is here. So, right now, our opening gambit is doing this better than we just did it, and with more luck than we just did it, and getting into that room and using that room to basically just hide in. That's actually the first time that I've died outright. Oh god, I leveled up, didn't I? Did I get more levels somewhere else? No, I got more experience here, so it wouldn't increase the thinger. We're not looking at a higher thing right now. Hey, live forever and ever. You know, hopefully we get as far as the ooze. Hopefully we manage to get this shot. You know, it's interesting. I'm apparently doing a worse job here than I did in the previous attempts. Because... like, am I missing something? I don't recall it being this consistent that I was having other people dying. Oh god, there's a boss in this pack? Okay. Okay, we're probably fine. Fuck! You've got to be kidding me. He walked forward and blocked the door. That's, like, just perfect placement to fully block the door. Rude. Okay, this is a very weak initial pack. I don't have the ini set up correctly, apparently. Give me a second. I wonder if I'm going to have to change this. Is it not? I will fix that today. I'll fix that after stream today. I have taken to ignoring my alarm, which is not good. The alarm is still there. I've just been ignoring it because any individual. I'm gonna check this now. Actually, did I actually? No. So I haven't uploaded it, or have I? I have not. Okay, so I'm going to export it now, and I will make it public once we have ended stream. It might not go public immediately because I'm going to make it public once it's up to HD. Yeah, exactly. Ignore the previous version of me that cared about our well-being. Look, past me cares about the convenience for the viewers. Present me doesn't give a shit about anybody. That's the dynamic. Okay, so the other thing that I have to consider is this actually the best way to get through this room in the first place? This might actually take longer to get through it this way than it doesn't, though, because we've established that it only takes like a minute or so. Like it doesn't take that many attempts to make this work. So I think that we just need to get some iterations in here so that we can get this going. Unfortunately, it is fairly random. There's not like a huge amount of optimization I can do for the actual movement there. Though I am taking so much damage that maybe we do put this off until later. Because, like, Hot Dog is getting insta-gibbed. This isn't Hot Dog. Hot Dog's also getting insta-gibbed, but Elvis is getting insta-gibbed. I wonder. I wonder if it makes more sense to maybe make the stream title a lie again. I think it probably does. I'd like to be able to survive more consistently a single attack on the characters that aren't diseased. Because the brigands are a huge issue. So if we were going to... I don't want to go for overworld completion because it's going to give me a bunch of EXP. And I need to do a dungeon to get more... to basically get up to the thing. So because of the fact that in this run the routing is a bit different than it usually is, because we're going back and forth, the overworld map is a very good, convenient place to get pickup experience, where it's just like, I just need a little bit of experience, you just kill a few enemies on the world map, right? And I don't want to finish up here and then go into the dungeon and then not be able to leave. It just has to do with like EXP management, of like when I'm going to get the big like chunks of EXP done. It's a different kind of criteria than I would usually have to worry about when I'm doing like the first entry clear everything kind of run. So let's see here. We need like 2 full levels basically. Do we feel like maybe... I think we maybe do the rogues. Do I want to... So my basic options right now are to do the Rogue Stronghold, which has a lot of loot. I don't have to fight my way to the Rogues. I've already fought my way there. I don't think there's anything left in the way. I think I cleared that whole area. I cleared that whole area yesterday. Or not yesterday, the day before yesterday. So we certainly killed the bosses. There might be a couple of stragglers, but I don't think there's a couple of stragglers. I think we actually cleared that. The enemies that are left are on the mountain, I think. There might be a couple of archers here, but I think that we killed all the archers here, and it's just the ones on the mountain. Yeah, so we're cleared here. So what do we do about this situation? It's tempting. I think we're gonna try this by doing... Ooh, actually, if we do this, that completes a quest. We might actually be able to get enough experience just from this place. Let's find out. Let's just make our life a little bit easier for now, and pull the trigger on making our life easier so that we can maybe still get the hard thing done today. Because if we spend too much time dicking around, we're not going to have time to finish the other thing today. Because I think what we're going to have to do... Fuck.
Oh, yes.
Green potion. I think what we're going to have to do is finish up here, and then go from here to... That's a lot of friends. Wow, you didn't die instantly. That's shocking. think. Alright, this section is going to be rough, but we might be able to make it work.
Looks like this one's alright.
Okay, so these are very tight corridors, so I wish that I had a bit more damage. Fuck. Wow. Saved by the thief. Oh no. That's a problem. Okay, we're fine. Elvis popped up and then got the instant kill. That was pretty awesome. Oh, this is a concern. Alright. Set. Open you. I'm concerned about this. There's a lot of enemies here. They are all hitting me. Looks like we were able to lock some of them out of the room. I want to kill these anyway. I just want to get... I want to basically get confirmation on whether I can use this if I do a better job of entering. And we're not even going to get to check that because we don't have enough DPS on the last two characters. So, I think we're going to need to use a corner for this. Corners are harder to use on this patch than they have been in the past. Okay. So 630 was not lethal, which is good to know. Okay. There's no shady way that I can get through this, is there? I think if I stand here, it's going to go badly for me. But I could be wrong. We'll see. It looks like this might work. Oh. Not with consistency. We have the one leak. Okay, the one leak is dead. Okay, they didn't leak when I did that. They are moving though, so there's the possibility that they leak. Oh, you leaked. You didn't leak? Where did you go? Okay, please. Okay, that one's toast. We're gonna heal up to full. We can apparently hit the thug from here. Inconsistently. Okay. Now that's done. So, we have more saves in us. I'm wondering if I want to use a save now that we have cleared the first pack. Why do I have so little food? Is there like a limit to how much food I can bring into the dungeon, maybe? I seem to recall there might have been a change like that. Okay, we're going to save this under danger. And now we are going to try to figure out how we want to handle this next bit. I unfortunately can't get early vision on them because I don't have Wizard Eye. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, we're fine. We got protect from the poison, which is nice. Okay, just one enemy in this room. Two-handed axe of sparks.
Very weak.
Okay. So nothing of particular interest there, but it does give us a little bit. Okay. Simultaneously convenient to have them locked in a corner there, but also concerning because it's easy to... Ooh, this is a bad idea. Okay, we are probably going to die here. We somehow managed to get missed with every venomous attack. The boss was attacking us multiple times but didn't hit us, so we're good on that. I can hit this from here, but it can also hit me from here. Okay, so we got it into a position that was okay, but let's... So this is a very slow opening door, which is kind of a nuisance, because I want to just kind of like jump in the doorway. Let's see. There is a table in here that isn't going to work for my needs. And I don't think there's going to be any furniture that accomplishes my objectives here. So we're just going to run like hell. To here. So they've moved a bunch. This is in range to be attacked. Damn it. I hadn't moved deep enough there. I was sure I was deep enough, but no. Man, this is a really rough section. Why am I the red right now? Why are they preemptively moving toward me? That's weird. Let's see here. Because those didn't start out there. So the thing here, we have a bed in this room. I don't think this bed is...
No match for me.
I mean, it clearly walked onto the bed, but then it just stopped. We're not going to be able to somehow make that bed work. Will we? Absolutely.
I need healing.
Oh god. There's so many over here. Oh god. Okay. I think we're gonna go for both of those rooms first, maybe. Let's see here. Let's go for these two rooms. Because there were like a bunch of really weak enemies in this room, which is more convenient to fight. So this corner is working for right now, but will stop working as they start moving around, I assume. There we go. But because the enemies themselves are fairly weak here, this is like a room that doesn't have any top tiers. Why are they not attacking? Oh, this corner is actually an amazing corner. Holy shit. Holy shit. If I could lure enemies into this room, I might be able to do some crazy stuff with it. Basically, like, lure them in and then run back out. I don't know what happened with this one. I'm going to try and see if I can replicate it. No, I must have just gotten it, like, in a hit stun chain or something like that. That's the only thing that I can think of, is that I must have, like, chain attacked it in such a way that it just kept getting hit stunned over and over and over again. Which is just, like, good luck for the most part. Let's see. What else can I do here? I could try luring the enemies into this room and seeing what happens with the bunk beds and stuff like that. Oh shit, this is the wrong room. Okay, I didn't actually aggro those enemies. I did aggro those enemies, they just were really slow to respond. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're gonna come in here. I can get on top of this bed. Oh. That's interesting. Can I get up here consistently? Interesting. I need to get some of these in here. Okay. Okay, you can still hit me from there. Can you, though? I don't think this can hit me. I think we're actually safe. So, interesting. We have a potential safe spot in this dungeon. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this door. And shit, I need to get onto the bed. I could fight these more normal. I guess I just don't even need to fight them normally because there's another safe spot for these, right? It's true. As long as you can get the covers over your head, you're totally safe in the bed. That's the rules. I'm pretty sure that the principal conceit of Castle Doctrine is that nothing bad can happen as long as you're in bed. That's like fundamentally what it's about. Okay. Okay, we got up. Now, the question is whether they will actually leak into this room or if I have to help them out. I'm gonna see if I get onto this bed instead. We might have an actual answer to this dungeon. See, this is why it's fun to come into places where you can't do what you would normally do. Because it forces you to figure out something new. Now, this probably wouldn't work in 6. My guess would be that this is a interaction that's specific to Might and Magic 8. I don't think that could hit me. I think I am, like, out of line of sight. There are circumstances where the game thinks that you're in line of sight, and so it attacks, but then it checks and goes, oh wait, no, you're actually safe. Let's see. Hello, friends. You're going to be extremely rude to me? I think you are. I think you're going to be extremely, extremely rude to me. At least we're getting the movement down. Oh, we can hit you from there. We also have confirmation that if they leak further in, it doesn't change the fundamentals. Okay, we're not going to loot these yet. We're going to wait until we can save. So, do we try... Fuck! I think we might be able to save if we kill this one. So we're going to run over here. I'm pretty sure that it's not aggroed, but I do want to just confirm. It was aggroed. The other thing is, I don't actually know for sure that these will be similarly incapable of hitting me. They have a different hitbox, a different model. It's entirely reasonable that they might be able to attack me from a position the others cannot. We are not in the green here. We're not far enough away from hostiles. So, with that being the case, we're going to have to drag more... Wait, did I just get in the green? I thought the color of the things shifted for a second. Okay, so from here we have options. We can, I guess, just open this door, and then we peek and we run. I only saw weak enemies there. I didn't see anything super strong. But these do still have insta-get potential on me. The disadvantage of being in that other room is that I don't have as good a vision on the enemies, and they're not going to come at me from literally anywhere. Some places they will just not come to me from. So we don't have the ability to save there. Can we save if we get up to this corner here? No, because there's a fucking... Okay. We're going to sit here for a bit. It's possible that that thing didn't leak and that it's still standing right where it was before. That scared the shit out of me. If this thing gets one more attack on us, there's roughly a 1 in 5 chance that it just kills us instantly, I think. I don't think it has Instagib on everybody. I think it just has Instagib on the disease target. More than one. Okay. I think that we can fairly consistently get them to leak in here. Whoa! Scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I'm hoping that that's all of the enemies in this pack. Let's loot these. Okay, there's another one right there. There's more than one. Holy shit, we pulled so many enemies. There's like a whole other pack that we pulled. For some reason, I thought this other pack that we pulled was only going to show up after we had pulled the next switch. That I needed to go like substantially further in. Wait, is that the same one or is that a different one? Wow, it rotated all the way out. We're not in the green. And that's deeply concerning. Because that does indicate that we're going to need to clear out another room, potentially. We probably have to clear out the barrel room. Because this is... For some reason I thought that I was in the green in this corner without needing to clear the barrel room. Alright, we're going to open this door. Is there anybody in the barrel room? There's nobody in the barrel room. Shouldn't this be far enough then? Interesting. Okay, well, that's fine. We're going to have to work on this room, I think. Let's open this door. They are immediately charging us. Don't love that. Okay. I think it was just the one that aggroed. Now we have a shit ton. Ooh, ooh, that's bad. Well, luckily they didn't approach me faster than that, but that's fine. I'm going to wait here for just a second while I pour myself a drink. This is a very concerning position to be in. There's a lot of enemies. However, this pack is probably sufficient to get me the ability to leave the dungeon. Okay. It looks like they all got trapped over here. which really sucks for me. I don't have Wizard Eye. There's a lot of them, so they're going to start leaking at some point. Possibly en masse.
No match for me.
Where the fuck are the others? Okay, there's one. Jeez, okay. Luckily, the tier 2 can't one-shot from full HP. Even on the disease target, so that's good. There are a bunch of tier 3s in this pack, though. Are there any other tier 3s here? What the fuck just died? You all heard that. Death sound effect, right? Monsters are weakened and can no longer resurrect. We're leaving. We're gonna save.
We need to.
Whew. Okay. So we can save this. And now we can just pop back in here. And we can be a bit more casual about it now. Because we've established a couple of key points. One is, I don't think that the tier 2s are going to be one-shotting our anything. In addition, I don't think the tier 3s are likely to one-shot anybody either. The only person that they're going to one-shot consistently is probably Cheesesteak. So we're going to drag this to the entrance. And I think this is a dungeon that is short enough
Need to leave.
that, and it's not super crazy hard, and we have a very clear and coherent answer to it. So I think that we're not going to look at that item that we picked up from the boss. We're going to not identify the gear that we have found until we... until we leave. So I think that's how I want to handle this. I like doing that periodically, of just doing like an unboxing at the end of the dungeon. It's less relevant for this one because this is always the exact same items, I believe. But nope. Okay, so that was pretty solidly a one-shot. That was a pretty solid one-shot. We're actually going to maybe loot the entire dungeon on the way out instead of on the way in, like a sensible person. Let's see. Wow, okay, that was not even a consistent one-shot. I was expecting it to be a comfortable one-shot. That's not even a cozy one-shot. That is... we just survived that attack. So, that's promising. That's actually extremely promising. Okay, I think I might as well go save, since we killed that last thing. That gives me the opportunity to come loot all of these quick. And if we can kill this last pack, we probably don't need to leave anymore to do saves. And we can just be a little bit more wild and crazy with it. Be a bit funky with it. So... Okay, green barrel. We're going to give that to you for the memes. We are going to give this to you for the memes. Alright, so it looks like we have gotten this part cleared, which is not expected, but that's fine. I thought that there was another mid-tier in that pack that I hadn't killed yet, but apparently wrong. That's a catalyst, I don't need to worry about it. Red and red. Again, just for the memes, we're going to put this on you, put this on you. Any greens? Green at the end. So do that. I think we can save here now. We sure can. So we're going to save this under danger. And we're going to... Right, we need to hit the switch. We're going to hit the switch. So, whoa! They've already been aggroed. We're going to pull out. Oh, shit. Okay, should not have turned around. You know, this was in fact the time to get it right the first time. Oh, fuck. I think we're just gonna fight this with a melee kite. That's not too hard to do. Okay, there's at least one more brigand in this pack. I could go save, but we don't need to save after every fight, you know. We oversaved with the rogues, and now we're gonna undersave with the thugs. That's how this is gonna go. Okay. Whoa. Fuck. Concerning? Okay. It's like, Elvis, I need you to land a hit, please. We don't have very far to run with this one, so... Okay. We are at the entrance, so I guess we might as well just go save. You know, as one does. It's not exactly time-consuming to do so. So, we can jump out into here. I think I already looted... Yes, I looted on one of the attempts that I saved. Whoa! Maybe I should pay attention to the direction the enemies are actually going to come from, huh? The reason that I was looking to the right there is because the I was taking it from the perspective of, oh, the enemies will have had time to be anywhere, and I didn't want to, like, forget to check that direction. And it's like, wait, no, the enemies haven't had time to get there yet, so... Okay, there's a mid-tier thief here, right? No, there isn't. What? I thought I saw one rotate there. Unless it got into the wall and it got reset back to the entrance, which I don't think happened. Okay. I think we're just going to save. Because we're right at the entrance, we might as well. We are basically right here. Just save ourselves a bit of time if I decide to, you know, play badly, mess things up, etc.
No match for me.
We have a surprisingly small completion percentage, but because this is like one room. These bedrooms. Probably not. These are pretty normal sized beds. Whoa! Naturally. Naturally. Okay. I don't think those were even bosses. Those are just normal ones. Please.
No match for me.
Okay, I think there might have just been the one boss in this whole dungeon, because there's probably not 80 enemies in here. So, we're going to go out here, we're going to save the game, we have 2 brigands to deal with. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to go stand on this bed and trust the heart of the cards. The bed will save us. You know, the bed for some reason didn't save us. Alright. I didn't expect that to work, but it was so funny that it happened on that other bed that I just had to try it, because we've got the ability to just reload now. Ooh, that's spooky. You know, it's more than just spooky, it's lethal. I should have probably taken the possibility of them popping back up seriously. You know, just... Okay, we're just gonna pull these. I want to see if I can get these to come into the room over here a little bit easier from that direction. And I think the answer might be yes. We got at least one in here. Okay, I don't know where the others are, though. You know what? That's so true. That's so true. You do need to get into the bed. That's the issue. That's why it's working when we get on those bunk beds, is because we clip through the top and then we're in the bed. Wait, where the hell are they? Were they not aggroed? I think they must not have been aggroed. That's fine. Oh shit. Oh shit! Oh, oh, oh no. Okay, we got it. We got in the bed, it's fine. The really funny thing is, it seems like while we're trying to get in the bed, we're not in a position where they're likely to, like, walk into the room. They only are going to walk into the room when we actually get ourselves where we're supposed to be. So, that's pretty cool. Alright, we're at 100%, so we can save in the dungeon now. How are we doing on EXP? We need another full level. That's great. We have a couple options for how to do that. Let's see here. Have I looted everything on this side now? I think so. I think we've looted everything in here now. So, we will go pick up our friend. And then once we've picked her up... that's a good question. It's... So the thing... So my understanding is that the original bug was not that more loot would spawn in the chests. It was that more loot would spawn in the chests and then wouldn't actually be in the chest at all. And I think that Greyface fixed that so that when you re-looted the chest, the remainder gear would show up. I believe that's the actual original interaction. I could be wrong on that. The reason that was relevant is that anything that shows up in a chest but doesn't show up because it was off the screen and so they cut it off. If that was an artifact, you'd never see that artifact in the entire game. It was impossible to get it, and you would have no way of knowing that you missed it, right? So it would be in the chest, but then you could, if you took everything out of the chest, reopened the chest, it's still not in there because the overflow didn't get put into the chest deposit. That's my understanding based off of previous conversations that I've had with chat that I could be misremembering. And then in Maw, I think they made other changes as well. But yeah, I don't actually know. We can check whether the MM8 Innie has the chest fix thing. Fixed chest is set to 1. So if fixed chest equals 1. If set to 1, items that didn't fit into a chest will appear the next time you open it. So yes, the chest fix, which is to say the items... So the fact that this says chest fix equals 1 is the extra items will show up the next time you open it. That is the actual thing. I don't think that anyone has come up with code to fix the problem that the chests get overfilled in the first place. I don't think that anybody's fixed that problem. So the fundamental issue is that the chests can have more stuff in them than fits on the chest screen. And that wouldn't be much of a problem if not for the artifact issue, right? The artifacts being unable to spawn more than once is the primary issue.
Very weak.
Let's see. So, you have a gargantuanly powerful axe. So, do we have... any reason to think that our Might and Magic 6 EXP that we'll get actually yes, we do have reason to believe that. I think yes, I'm gonna try this. We're gonna see what happens. If I finish clearing the exterior and I get half a level off of that, I think it's reasonable to think that we might get enough EXP from turning in this quest that we just completed. Imagine returning Sherry to New Sorpigal in a timely manner. Imagine that life that you could live. Sherry just goes home, is released from having to follow you around. Because I'm not going to get a full level. Well, shit. Okay. We are going to check. No, we're not. I know, it's kind of unacceptable if we're being honest. She even does look like an author. You cannot look at Sherry and tell me that she does not look like an author. Like, she would write about our journeys. %100%. Is the loot... So, I had kind of just assumed that the loot in the chests was, like, just assigned based off of, like, a certain number of items with a potential value up to a certain amount. And so you would run into issues where if a lot of, like, spears dropped and other, like, weird, like, big items, then, like, plate armor takes up, like, a third of a chest, right? So I figured that it was just like, oh yeah, if too many items that are big are spawned, it just takes... Is it actually... Is there meant to be a control in the system for that? Because it's non-trivial to come up with, like, a setup for ensuring that the loot will fit in the chest. Because even if you limit it so that the amount of items, like, that can drop in the chest are limited, like, the amount of physical space they can take up is limited to the actual size of the chest, or even, like, 20% less than the size of the chest, you run into the issue that because of the way that the objects are shaped, you won't necessarily have a perfect means. That doesn't get me... Let's see. That doesn't get me that close. So if we wanted to... we have enough EXP in 6 now. Well, actually, we're at the point where they're at equilibrium. We actually technically should be going to 8 right now. And I think we're going to. This is not Ma. That's me. That's me. So the reason that they've been changed is because of... I think that it's weird for a variety of lore reasons, as well as just, like, Might and Magic 6 has very cringe models in some of them. Like, the cannibal model is a problem, right? Speaking of which, I realized that the NA probably isn't Northern Africa. It's probably Native Aboriginal. That's probably what it is. The N might be something else, but, like, Aboriginal or Aborigine is probably the word that is being shorthanded to A there. I was thinking about it, like, later in the day, and I was like, yeah, Northern Africa, this is not where I would expect those models to be deriving from. So what is it? And it's like, oh, it's probably Aboriginal. Anyway, that's kind of beside the point. But basically, I think that it's one of the interesting things. One of the things that I like about it, which is not the reason that I did it, but which I do like about it, is that everybody asks about it, and then I can talk about the interesting thing, my little conspiracy theory. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory, but that basically it's my interpretation that all of the models that are labeled as peasant models were originally peasants, right? So, like, that's the cannibal model, the assassin model, and the follower of Ba model were alternate peasant models in terms of that was what they were intended for. You can note that none of them have weapons. Well, I think only the cannibal men have a weapon on the model that's visible. The knife, I don't think the knife is visible on the femme model, but I could be wrong. They take out a knife to attack with, I think, but like basically, so like you don't have a knife on this model, right? Do you have a knife? Oh, you do have a knife.
I don't know.
Interesting. Does the other is the other one visible? I'm gonna have to look at the white peasant model as well. Anyway, they don't seem particularly dangerous, and they have a model that's listed as the peasant model. There's peasant models 1 through 4, right? Well, there's peasant male and peasant female 1 through 4, right? So so basically, I just swapped the models with like peasant 1 and peasant 3 or whatever, and then I changed the merchant model to be the cannibal model, because that one I think is just a great change just in general. But my assumption is that they had originally intended for the people walking around to represent the same kind of racial diversity that you see when you go into the houses and talk to people. Because if you talk to people in houses, it's just a wide spread of races. So it's my assumption we need 20 skill. Okay, it's my assumption that that was the original design intent. So they don't use a knife. It's fine. It all works. But the I have aphantasia. I cannot remember what anything looks like. I lost track of where I was. I got distracted by seeing the Master Dagger. Right, we're going to the other place. Well, the thing is, the important thing to bear in mind is that the cannibal models, right? The cannibal models are labeled the same as all of the other models. The cannibal models are labeled in the same way in the internal files that all of the other random peasants are, right? The model themselves are potentially more threatening since they do have a more obvious weapon. Though I will point out this peasant has a knife that's literally out. She's holding a knife in her hand, right? So it looks like they did in fact add the weapons to all the peasant models. I just didn't realize. But all the naming conventions in the files follow a specific thing that implies that they are of a kind with each other and nothing else. There's nothing else in the files other than these peasant models that have a naming convention akin to the peasant models. Do I need to go until Tuesday? I think I need to go until Tuesday, jeez. And so anyway, so I made the shift. The other thing that I like about the change is that there's this weird... First of all, the merchant model is a perfect cannibal model, and I will hear nothing denying that. The merchant model is an amazing model, and that would just be a great thing to make in the first place. But also... Let's see here. So one of the things that's kind of weird about like the Ba cult is that the entire Ba cult is white except for the lowest people in the cult. Everyone in the cult is white except the followers, right? The followers are Indian, and all of the leadership, all of the mid-tier, like every tier is white except for the very bottom tier. And I just think that's a weird thing to do. That to me feels very, very cringe. So making it so that all of the Ba cultists are white is, I think, better than having like racial diversity within the Ba cult, but only at the lowest levels of the cult. Choosing between those two things, I prefer to have that be coherent. Now, I would personally, I prefer for there to just be like a mix, right? Like, I prefer for there to be a mix. But I do think that they did interesting things with the game. I think that it's interesting that there is such a huge amount. Did that say follower of Ba? I don't feel like you should be a follower of Ba in this time and place, right? Hasn't the Ba cult been like completely eliminated by this point? And did the Ba cult ever spread to this region of the world? Huh. Anyway, it's just merge Ma things. Yeah. So what are we doing here? We're turning in the disease quest. So we're basically going to get ourselves one level here so that we get one more tick up for making our lives a little bit harder as we go to the Dragoon stronghold, because that's just how I want to live my life. That seems reasonable. Yeah, normally I have a more coherent spiel to explain the mod that I have, but my brain is particularly like fractured right now, and so I'm not able to explain it in a terribly coherent way. But I'm very pleased with it, and it was a really easy change. You basically just have to change a text file. You just copy paste information from one part of the text file into another, which is very easy to do. Do I not have the scrolls in my current active inventory? There we go. All right, the pandemic, sorry, not pandemic. The epidemic is over. Pandemic would be global. This is a localized epidemic. So we've cleared that. Do we have any other quests we can turn in? I don't think we get EXP for the final turn-in for this quest. So we'll just see how much experience we get for finishing the 100% on the world map here. And then we can move on, question mark. Anointed potion. Hiss. Dire wounds. Welcome to the chat. Did I disconnect or something? Okay, I don't think I get any more EXP for having... Yes. So there's no experience for that part. The actual turn-in of the quests doesn't give you anything at all, I don't think, which is kind of funny. But we now need about half of a level, and I think we can get pretty close to that just by getting the clearance of this zone. So these guards are going to fight these... Oh, wait, are the guards already dead? No, I don't think the guards are dead already. Alright, we're going to pop over here. And we need to start working on these. I don't know how strong the Corsairs are. I don't think they're that powerful. But yeah, we're going to try to drag this whole pack to the boat. Okay, map complete. It's pretty funny. And we can pop over here. Oh, jeez! Oh, jeez. We're fine. We're fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Okay, maybe worry about it a little bit. Maybe worry about it a little bit. Maybe be a little bit more concerned, actually.
It is but a scratch.
Concern yourself with this slightly more. Okay, that's fine. Look, it's all fine. It's all fine. Everything's great and golden. Alright, we're not going to fight these on the coast. We have a boat. We're going to use it. So just give me a second to go save the game. I don't know yet. I haven't parsed what the actual affix does. My assumption, based off of absolutely nothing, has thus far been that it is a affix that indicates that it does like extra backstab damage or something like that. I don't have any reason to believe that. I think that I got hit from behind by one, and it killed me instantly when I would have expected to be just knocked unconscious by it at the very beginning of the game. But it's entirely reasonable that it would have just one-shot me. It was one of the first bosses that I ran into, and I don't know... Like, I didn't have, like, a comparative analysis of other boss damage. So, like, I don't have any particular reason that I believe the things that I believe sometimes. Yeah, whatever it is that it does, we'll figure it out over time.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So we cleared those. There's some sort of shiny there that I'm looking forward to seeing. I think I'm going to go save. Okay, that's the summoned thing, so let's not fight that, because we don't want them to respawn more of them. Okay, so, taking that one out. We need to approach this pirate in such a way that... Oh, right, I didn't check my EXP. Okay, so we're fine. We need about 30% more of a level. My guess is that we'll get that from one of the pirate admirals or whatever. I think I want to kill this last boss over here. Maybe? Can I get you to approach me instead of them? Seemingly no. So this is the Shadow Corsair. And that's going to burn that down pretty fast. Oh shit! Probably dead here. Okay, we did not die. Okay, I am going to try to get on here this way. We've managed it. So we got the Shadow Corsair on the other side of this. And we're golden. Boat times for the win.
No match for me.
Okay, we're in the green, which is a problem, actually. Because that means that these are going to respawn. Alright, we're going to just loot everything. Okay, these did not respawn for some reason. We're going to save under Lich Stitch. And now we can check. We got a garbage shield. We got 101 hit points. Not bad. And we can just slap that on you. This has 47 accuracy, though, so we're actually not going to do that. We're going to put this on you, maybe? Yeah, let's put this on you. Put this on you. Battle Hatchet. Ooh! Primordial Amethyst Ring of Protection. Not terrible. Not terrible. The SP doesn't really matter. Let's see, is there somebody else who... Yeah, I guess we'll just slap it on you. Okay. We have a belt that gives endurance and meditation. We have this. Unarmed skill +1 on a ring. I like that, actually. Am I gonna want? We can do this. Okay, so now we can walk over here, grab all these. All these bodies lying around. These are respawns. I'm not going to fight them at the moment. I'm just going to loot all the bodies that are lying around. And we will move on. Alright. So, that sort of like permanent engagement is going to do its thing, but we don't have to worry about it for now. So, we need about 20% of a level. I think I'm going to just go kill one of the pirate admirals now, because I'm not going to get enough EXP from anything else, and I'm a little worried that I'm going to get overkill EXP. So, I should have done this earlier, but I'm a little happy that I did it this way. We got to finally see what some of this loot was, and that's a good thing. Okay. You're going to approach me? Eventually. Oh, fuck. I'm like, oh, he's moved. I better move. And then he like drops down off of the deck right as I'm doing the setup. Okay, so let's get over here. We'll get into the green again. There we go. So we're in the green. We can save the game. We're going to try this again. Let's try to orient you correctly this time, rather than having you fall off the boat. It's important that you not fall off the boat, but it's also important that you not just shoot me from where you are. Our dear Admiral here is... Okay. Well... Okay, I think that we can get that to consistently move that way if we just do that. So we just need to get over there, and then once it starts moving that direction, we just pop over here. Okay. Move to here. Does that work? No. I think that's going to rotate all the way off the deck. Maybe not. It's funny because I feel like I did this fairly consistently before. Now I'm just not managing to do it. Please tell me to just rotate off the boat the other side. Okay, you are still here. Man, you really... do not want to behave, do you? Imagine if we had the jump spell. Imagine the life we could have led. Okay, we're just going to rotate to this side and hope that it'll just come right to us. It doesn't matter if we can kill him right here or not. The important thing is... Sorry, it doesn't matter if we can loot him right now or not. The important thing is just whether or not we'll be able to loot him eventually. The body will just be here. So... I don't want to drop him in the water. We established that you can just kind of like melee kite these, where you just like dodge their attacks. Use the same thing that you would do for dragons. The issue is that if I do that in the water, then its body's going to disappear because it's in the water. So we don't want that. Okay, how much EXP was that? A good amount of EXP. Okay, we need one more of those, and that'll get us roughly where we're going, I think. So, I think it's good that we didn't kill the other few enemies that were here. I don't know that it'll make a difference, but there's 3 of those pirates, right? I think there's 3 of them. Like there's presumably one right here. That one there. Yeah. I'm gonna go see if I'm correct on where the other one is. I don't think there's any loot here, so I don't think we need to worry about that. There we go, you're right there. Hello, Captain. Okay. You're gonna come right to me since I'm on this side of the boat now? No. No, you're gonna fall off the boat. This one I might be able to manipulate back onto land, but honestly, it's too much of a nuisance to bother. We're not going to. So, we're going to try approaching this from the other direction, I guess. If we approach you from the front, you should... Okay, you're still up. You're not in range, though. Okay. So, that's interesting that he walked all the way up to there. Fuck. Okay, so I think if we move toward the front of the ship, we can lure them down. I wonder if maybe going from the front of the ship... Did you get a water? Yeah, you did. This one is much more happy. Is it there? I think it's because this one doesn't have as much of a wall on the deck, maybe? Like it can rotate off from anywhere on the deck. Instead of just on like a very specific part of the deck. But yeah, because of the fact that we can't make them move, they're completely stationary unless they're out of line of sight. Maybe approach from the actual back. You're just gonna come at me from over there now. Okay. He didn't jump off the deck. Okay, there he is. I think we're golden here. I think this is... model, so we should have a clean kill here. It just took a little bit of work. There we go. And your body's sifting through there. How are we on EXP? We're just barely there. We barely got there, but we've got to the point where Might and Magic 6 is now the highest level area. We've also gotten to the point where Might and Magic 7 has kind of caught up to the others. So, that's, I think, pretty cool. We'll be able to go and get that done. So we're heading back to Might and Magic 6. And in Might and Magic 6, we can turn in the Sherry quest if we want. And that could be an interesting choice, but I don't think that we want to do that. I think we want to go to the... Do we do this? Are we prepared for the Dragoon Stronghold? I think we're fairly well prepared for it. We should get some food in Raven Shore and see if we can get a good setup. But yeah, we have a difficult road ahead of us in the thinger. Okay, that's not going to be useful. So Iron Fist is just going to be where we're getting the food from. Iron Fist is going to give us up to 20. That will mean that we only have 2 saves or 6 saves, depending on how I sequence them. Which we'll just have to see how it goes. We've got 500 max HP on you. I think we're potentially going to okay, we're gonna have to what time is it? It's 2 o'clock. We're gonna have to train as soon as we get there because we're gonna be weakened and we can't cure weakness. So we're gonna need to train, and we can get the dungeon. I think we can just fully clear the dungeon and then turn in Sherry's quest. I think that probably makes the most sense. Okay, we can fill this to max. We now have 20 food. With that 20 food, we can, I guess we can disable water walking. Let's just get some of the maintenance stuff done immediately so that it's just done. We have 10% mana. Fingered. Dedicated. Peasants here. Let's see. So.
Hey, look at the well done. Well done.
Okay. So, we have 21 skill points to spend. We have to figure out how we're going to spend them on each of our characters. This gives me resistance on the entire party. It gives me a little bit of extra damage. Do I invest into that? I don't know. I don't know that PBJ is that relevant at the moment. We could pump our cover. And I think that's probably a good idea. We can't quite get to cover 8, which would give us the ability to cover projectiles. But there's no projectiles that I have to worry about necessarily with PBJ. There's a couple of projectiles that the oozes are using, but realistically, I shouldn't be taking a lot of damage from those effects. Like those if those are hitting me pretty much at all, then I'm almost like automatically in a fail state there. So you should probably pump Arms Master. You have your dagger up to expert already. You have your spirit magic up so that I can tag that to expert, which I should have done. No, I it's good that I didn't waste the money on that. I just realized that it costs a shit ton to do that. We're going to just pump Arms Master. So Arms Master 5 is going to give us an additional 2 base damage for our attack, which, considering that we're dual-wielding daggers, is not bad. Is not bad. I think it's added to each weapon. So you can put another point into Arms Master if you want. The other thing that I could do, which I would have had to have done before I got here, because now I don't, is I could get you up to Fire Expert so that I can use Haste, because I have the Haste spell in my inventory. And I think that's probably a good thing to do. Just maybe not necessarily. I should probably do that. We should maximize our odds of being able to actually do the things. Anything that we need to do with you for your other skills? I think we just pump Arms Master. You're fine. You want to be pumping Axe. So 6, 7, 8. We're not quite going to be able to get to Expert. We could get to Expert Bodybuilding, which could potentially save our lives with this character. Do we take that investment? You have 8 chain. You don't have anything that needs to go up to 8 other than fire right now. We're going to take fire to 8. We take fire all the way up to 8. We had exactly enough skill points for that. We can't quite... I'm going to do this. We're going to get bodybuilding up to 8. And I'm going to check if I can actually just take the the coach to New Sorpigal and back. If I can take the coach there and back again, then I can actually just go get haste active right now. Let's see. In 5 days, what day is it today? It is Thursday, the 4th of June. So in 5 days, it'll be Tuesday. I think that's the Queen Catherine. Let's go to the Zephyr. We can go to New Sorpigal in 2 days. This gets us here on Saturday. This would take me to Mist on this day. Yeah, I'm going to have to pay closer attention to the other peasant model and see if that has a dagger on its hip too. Let's see. So, this is not the right place. We're going for fire. We are now a fire magic expert. Oh, whoa, I almost just dismissed Elvis. Okay, let's take a look. Can we get... We can't get back there today. It's fine. We'll just move the time forward to be able to get that done. Actually, we can turn in this quest here probably. No. Now the reason that I'm doing this, normally I wouldn't allow myself, after I had screwed up the orientation of that, to to do this fix, to just like allow myself to come back here. The reason that I'm allowing it for it is, first of all, it's not explicitly against the rules of this run to do so, but which is important because if it was against the rules of the run, even though the other part is true, it would not matter. Let's see. So you have 531 hit points now. What did you have before I got expert bodybuilding? Because you seem to still be at full HP. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's save this under danger in case I change my mind. But basically, if I don't get haste right now, my concern is that I'm going to make an attempt at this that isn't an honest attempt at the best, with the best circumstances possible, right? I might not be able to cast haste, and that'll be really funny. It'll be really funny if haste costs over 100% of my mana bar.
Useful.
What is the thing that I need? It's not meditation. It's not ascension. Is it enlightenment, maybe? I think it's enlightenment. We're going to go pick up that over at the Mage Guild place and hope that a single point in that is all that we need. If it's not, it's going to be really funny. We're going to just wait a couple hours. Not optimal to have to do that, but that's okay. Enlightenment. 80%. Okay. So, we can keep haste active, which gives us a sizable boost to our recovery. That's going to be very, very useful for us. Anything else that I need to learn right now? You need to learn unarmed at some point. Though, I actually don't need to learn it right now because I'm now realizing that we are really going to struggle with our thinger. It's going to be really nice when we finally get preservation. It's going to be difficult to figure out who I want to even put it on. I guess we need to put it on Ruben, who is not durable. But who will probably be more durable than Elvis by the time we actually get people properly geared up. Okay, so we've set that up. Now we need to decide, are we going to approach the initial... Nope, I need one more food. We're not done. I used a food while I was waiting until dawn just now. Do we need... I think we do the burst-in strat. I think that's how we want to handle it. We burst the door down, we charge in, and then from there, we can loot all of the bodies, we can get all of the stuff set up, and then get to... and then save the game, and charge the next choke point that I was trying to do. Yes, okay, so I think that the way that I want to try this is we're going to clear out the initial room, and we're also going to clear out as much of the bridge room as we can. We're going to get both of those things done right off the bat. And then once we've got those done, let's also save under Lich Stitch because we've now got ourselves going into the dungeon. So, it's a weak pack. It's unfortunate, but that's the basic. That's the basic gist of how we're going to make that happen. It would be nice to have stone skin too. Everything in here is doing physical damage up until we get to the oozes. Let's see. Was this one hit or was it 2 hits? I think it's got to have been 2 hits, right? Because like they're not diseased, so they're not going to take like they're not going to take that much damage from 1 hit. I don't think. Because there's a lot of attacks coming out right there. That's actually quite a lot of hits. Damn. And there's the potential for one to leak here, but as long as it isn't a brigand, it's not that dangerous if one leaks. It's probably not going to kill anybody unless it gets in. It's like a 1 in 5 chance of killing the person that we don't want them killing. 3 dead targets. These brigands are a problem. They are hitting hard. I wish that I knew a way to get over that. But yeah, the other possibility that we could go with is we could just fully make the stream title a lie and go after the Temple of Ba. That's another thing that we can do. But I would like to give this an honest-to-goodness attempt because it's going to take a decent bit of reloading just to get my foot in the door. But I think that, which I don't like. I don't like the RNG component. This entrance is not the part of this that I find interesting. The part of this that I find interesting is once we get to the bridge. So that's the part that I find interesting. With that being said,
Come on, let's go in.
if I do a little bit more stuff, that there's the possibility that we find the jump spell. And then I'd be able to just jump down there and immediately implement on that strategy. Which is more interesting than doing it this way. You know what? I'm gonna hold off on this. We're gonna hold off on this for now. Because there is such a huge amount of RNG just getting in there that even if I feel like I have some clever stuff that I can do later, I don't really want to deal with the RNG of getting it. Though, I could minimize that RNG a lot, probably, if I do it a bit slower. Like, it would take longer, and there's still a decent bit of RNG, because I don't have a lot of kiting space here. But hypothetically, I could pull, like, a smaller subsection of this pack around the corner, and then I can't use the corner to fight them, but I could just kite them down the hallway. Right, so if I did that a bit better, then I could increase the probability a bit, but no. I think I'm gonna do the temple, which I have 20 food, which is like, it's 10 saves, right? Like, it's not hard to get some of that dungeon to be green. It's such a huge dungeon. The only issue with the dungeon is that it is huge. Like, this place is enormous. So, oh yeah, we start out in the green. So we have to do work to get out of the green. So we can go down here. Is there anywhere in this dungeon that we can just pull everything to? Because that would be kind of fun. You know what we could do? No, it won't work because they have range attack. You know what? There's nothing saying that it's not going to work. We're going to try this. Okay, look. So it's. I forgot that they had changed the Ba cultists into monks. Can I get back there, actually? Do I need a key? I don't remember if I need a key to get back there. It doesn't matter. Okay, we actually can't jump on top of this, can we? We can't jump on this, so that there goes the plan that I'd actually intended to do. So we don't. We need the jump spell to. Oh, we need. Oh no, we might need the jump spell to be able to do this dungeon. I don't know if we're gonna have a means of clearing this without jump. Like, actually.
Come on, let's go.
We might be able to do it. Can we? Maybe we can use the corner. I don't think the corners are close enough. I'm gonna try. How do I want to handle this? I'm gonna move around a bit. There's no interesting stuff to do with these doors. I haven't found a clear, like, option here. This is not gonna work. This location is not helpful to me. That was a one-shot from a skeleton, right? That's a concern.
I don't know.
Let's see here. We have the key. We'll use this. I'm just checking. Oh, this. Oh, right. This key goes to the other side. This is actually going to be a bit of an issue.
Come on, let's go in.
God, we're so squishy. Not having I'm realizing that by now we would usually have preservation like 100%, and not having preservation at this point is a real bummer. Let's see. So we've actually already that was. So opening this door triggers these to attack. And these are not good enough walls to consistently clear these off with. There's not going to be... I'm realizing this is a very sparsely...
Come on,
there's
let's
like
go in.
nothing in here. There's no terrain. Hey, Malekith. Oh, whoops. This is east. So, north. I think it's northeast, west, south. Everything's going great, and anyone who says otherwise is a filthy liar and a coward. It's going great. Don't check the VOD. Don't check the VOD. It's going great. Everything is golden. So, we've made some progress. We've basically made we've made progress that just makes our lives harder because it means that we now have fewer options in terms of places to progress from, right? So we've made progress that makes our life harder. I'm now realizing that this place is going to be really rough without jump. Because we usually deal with the skeletons at the end by just jumping up onto that platform these days. And I can't do that. I don't think I can get there from the back. I think that's way too far of a jump to like try to use the wall and then hop off of the wall. But I might be able to glide off of the wall to make it work. But yeah, the
What lies ahead?
The difficulty that I'm having is that I'm so squishy and I do not have preservation. So not having preservation when I'm in my 30s, like or not my 30s, I'm at level 26 and I do not have preservation, is just such a huge issue for me. Let's see. So it's the east one that has the bathhouse, I think. Wait, nope, this is not. This is. Whoops, I went the wrong way. It's fine. You know what? We're gonna get in here. My guess is that this is gonna be something that isn't helpful to me. And I was right. I was 100% right. Wow, I'm just so clever. I'm so clever and smart. Okay, so the so not having the preservation is an issue, and I have the ability to pick up preservation on a whim. Whoops, this is not north. Look, I definitely know my cardinal directions. Did I click on that twice accidentally? I think I clicked on it twice accidentally. Bootleg Bay is probably... There's a lot of places that are easier. We haven't gone to Mist yet, either. I am trying to clear things out kind of in the order that I'm going to the zones. But it is a viable strategy, potentially, to go to Mist. And it would be kind of funny to go to Mist because there's a dungeon in Mist that's an easier dungeon that also has Dragoons in it. So it would be kind of funny to be like, oh yeah, we're doing the Dragoons that we promised 2 days ago, and then it's like, nope, we're doing a different set of Dragoons. Because does that Dragoon dungeon have anything that I can use to my advantage? And I don't... Well, maybe, actually. Are there any bunk beds in the Dragoon Caverns? Let's see. Bunk beds. Which dungeons have bunk beds? We need to find a bunk bed. There's no bunk beds in Corligan's estate, I don't think. I don't think we have any. I don't think we have access to any bunk beds that we can use. I don't think the Dragoon Stronghold has any bunk beds in it. Do I want to... Let's start working on this, but let's start working on this with the intention of just being able to leave the dungeon. So let's try. We're gonna ignore the corners for right now and go over here and start pulling the monks. The monks should be very reasonable to fight because they are ranged attackers, and ranged attackers are much more exploitable than melee attackers are. So the monks I think I should be able to deal with. Okay, I think this is probably... Yeah, we're safe right now. Okay, that one's toast. The other one is... Oop. You know, it's getting poked back a little bit, but it got poked back a little too far. Okay, let's try this again. We don't want to be too close to the wall, because if we're too close to the wall, then we'll get hit through the wall by their projectile. We are actually in the green right now. We have a lot of saves available to us. Do we want to take the first one off of just getting... I think we do. This will lock in the dungeon that we're in. This is the dungeon. This is the set of enemies that we have to deal with, and we just have to deal with them. If we don't save here, then we'll be randoming the dungeon, so it makes sense to just do this. So, we've got the dungeon saved. We've just... Oh, that's a good question. I can find out... The novices are 23. So these are fairly I'm about 25, I think, 26. So that's just a group of novices. That's no problem. We have this pack here. Yeah, this dungeon is interesting because the most dangerous part of the dungeon is not... It is the best. It is the best. That's very true. This dungeon... The most dangerous parts of it are things that I can actually just ignore until after I have the ability to just walk out of the dungeon and save. I can get the dungeon to... Okay, this is an issue. Do we retreat off the back of this? I think we are just going to stick it out for now. We're getting the fuck out. Okay. New corner. Okay. Unfortunately, they are consistently just approaching and walking past the corner. Okay, this Master Monk is behind the corner for now. It's not behind the corner anymore. We're going to try... No, we're not. We're going to try to dodge. We successfully dodged. Okay. We're 8% of the way through. Let's see. Okay, how do we do this? Why are you approaching me still? I'm in the green. You're not supposed to be running toward me. Why are two masters approaching me? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Don't do it. Okay, we're going to stand right here. Our hope here is that they don't do that. If I had a slightly faster reaction time there, I could have dealt with that very easily, but I didn't. I had a slow reaction time and didn't. So I basically needed to hit it while it was coming around the corner, so that it didn't finish coming around the corner. Okay. Diseased character was unconscious for a second. Is not anymore. Okay, I think this is probably just a bad corner to use. The other corner was working pretty well. Can we do it? Yes. This corner worked really great for some reason. I don't know if it's going to work great again. We might have just gotten lucky. I think part of the reason that it worked so well is just because this is just a bunch of novices which are weak enough that even as they're leaking like this, that's not an issue. So I think we're going to pop forward here. Let's try to lure as many of them to right here as possible. Okay, that one is a danger. It could potentially kill me. And you're going to come back up soon. Let's get out of here. We need to disengage and re-engage. Okay, we're going to engage around this corner. Fuck. Wow, I have such slow fingers right now. Oh my goodness. That was sad. Very important that I'm actually responding in a timely manner. Okay, we're in the green again. We're not going to save after that initial pack. I should have saved after the second pack that I fought, though. That is a thing that I should have saved. But yeah, if we can kill this pack, then we just have to clear out a bit of the corner packs, and we can completely ignore the summoned enemies, which make up probably about 20 or 30% of the enemies in the entire dungeon, even before you factor in the final room, which is just like all summons. Welcome back, live forever and ever. We go die. Okay. Life is sad. Life is sad. We'll just get in the water here. I am wondering, is there some... I'm wondering if there's like a corner that I'll be able to use to better effect in this. I think whatever corner I would be using is... The ones in the front are aggroing, I think. I don't think that this is... Yeah, this is, I think, the pack from outside. I don't think these are from the pack I was just fighting. Maybe they are, because I only have 4%. I think I got 8% when I finished that. No, that's... Okay. I feel like there might not be... yeah, that might be the case. That's possible, but it's also possible because I was standing right here, and these do aggro from like really far away. Like these are aggroing before I get into the yellow, right? So it's possible that they just aggroed because they were close enough. I don't actually know. Okay, there's... Shit. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Fuck. I missed. Okay. We're gonna try to use this location here. Okay. We got it. I thought we had 8% when we'd finished it. Was 8% how much we cleared the first attempt? That probably is how much we got done the first attempt. Okay, we're saving under danger. We've cleared one of the masters, and we've cleared the initiate pack, so I think that just makes sense. You are all gathered together in this thing. Those two are now approaching. It's going to be several of these. So I think this pack, for whatever reason, is more aggressive than the others. Fuck. I missed the timing. We basically need to be jumping out right as they're arriving, hitting them when they're a little bit past, or a little bit before the point that they would want to be, and getting that done. I have so many of these. Okay, we need to... I wasn't expecting to get hit by the master there. I thought that we were far enough behind the corner that we'd be okay. Man, if we had jump, we could do some crazy shit here, potentially. Okay, we have one master and then a group of little ones. Yeah, this is just down to me not having a fast enough response time. Like, my timing is off today. I'm just not doing a great job with the timing. So I think we have this one. We don't have it, apparently. We do now. Okay, that's one more master down. And then... we have those meandering around in the back. They've all moved toward the front now. That is now approaching me. So if we can take these two masters down, I'll be very comfortable with saving. They are still approaching. The issue is that we don't want to bait out an attack too early, or they won't go to the right place. We moved away from where we needed to be and got punished for it. We don't have the room unlocked. Sorry, we don't have the key. So we can't get back there with the strategy that we're using at all. So we just can't get into that hallway. I also don't think that hallway would necessarily do much to help with our current setup, just because it's the same kind of like corner stuff that we would be doing now. I think that it might be valuable, potentially, to jump onto the table. I might be able to do some shenanigans with tables, because unlike Might and Magic 6 Vanilla... Okay, so these are... I thought that it could hit me, but then it didn't hit me, so I wanted to get confirmation on that. Unlike Might and Magic 6 Vanilla, there's the possibility that I could abuse the fact that these try to get into melee range if they can't attack me, to basically get them all in one corner of that table, and then beat them up from there. Okay. Oh no, you hit me. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Fuck. We're gonna pull around two corners. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just done the one. But we did do two. Okay, we killed the novice monk. This is a master monk. It is in a safe spot. That initiate can kill me. We're gonna pop over here. We have somebody here that's a master. We do have a path to victory here, potentially. Unfortunately, we did get tagged there. I'm gonna play it out. We're gonna see. This corner is potentially going to be clutch. If we had managed to... I'm actually going to try to aggro several of them here. And we're going to go into that corner right off the bat and just see what happens. So we basically pulled in such a way that we ended up with multiple of them right here. And I want to see if we have like a shit ton of enemies in this pack, if we just end up with a bajillion there. The one on the right side was actually in a safe position for me. We're going to basically just see if I don't do what I just did. Oh, I got hit through the wall. Can I get hit through the wall still? Yes, this one can currently hit me. Okay, I don't think that corner is going to be super hot for me. it's like not like a... It's not a perfect place to fight. So I think what we're going to probably rely on is fighting in stages. That master is in a bad position. We have multiple masters in this pack. Okay, this master is getting hit stunned a bit. Okay, that's bad. This should be able to hit me from there, so we're gonna move. We're dodging out. Damn. I delayed a little too long and a second master appeared, which maybe is the one that killed me and maybe is not, but I don't know. Just plop forward a little bit. But yeah, I think that if we can get the timing and everything done on this very well. Okay, perfect. We've now got like a bajillion enemies, which, okay, well, maybe don't just run in a straight line directly toward where you're going. I was technically zigzagging, but I wasn't zigzagging. I was zigzagging too tightly, basically. Every time you turn back the other direction, you're basically begging to be attacked successfully. So, we have a few options here. We could try to... And I think maybe this is what we want to do. I'm actually going to try this corner, but I'm going to try it a little differently. We're going to stand on this side of this corner. I'm curious to see what happens if we are standing on this side of this candle. My guess is we just die. Okay, this one has stopped moving in the worst possible location. And we're getting hit by the AoE fireball in addition to its attacks. So that's really quite bad. So the other thing we could try... Let's aggro a bunch of you. I don't usually donate to temples because I don't have a real reason to. Why would I need to donate to temples? Like, what would that do for me on this run? Okay, this is kind of an interesting location where we'll probably just end up getting blown up by the fireball. Oh, does donating to temple? I don't think so. Donating to temples is just there to give you reputation, I think. Oh, it gives you buffs in this? Oh. Well, in that case, probably I wouldn't allow it. Gotcha. So they're buffs to, like, help you with, like, clearing the exterior area, I guess? Okay, that did not accomplish a whole lot. Okay, there's multiple in play. I'm going to stand here for now. Unfortunately, these are the... Actually, you know what I can do? I have another corner that might be useful, so we're going to try it. So, north... We're going to try pulling these. We got it by the fireball. Oh, you know, I could use this corner too, potentially. If I stood down here, will they get into the red and stop moving? It's possible. The only issue is that because there's that fireball trap there, there's the possibility that they, Okay, they're not even going to approach. Rude. Yeah, the other thing I could do, in theory, I don't like how much this is rotating. It's making me very uncomfortable. Alright, we might be able to do something with this corridor, because that's only like a half block there. And we've got like really weird like terrain right here that could hypothetically make for a interesting play. Don't know which direction they're gonna. There they are. We're gonna try this again because that worked pretty well, and I'm curious to see if it'll just keep working. Let's toast. Oh, we are in deep shit. Okay, we're not in deep shit. We're fine. We just cleared out 5 more of them. We're now at 8%. This is the amount of clearance that we got, I believe, on our first attempt. That first long attempt that we got. We're now successfully caught up to where we were then. Good job, us. We are going to make another save here. We've now used 3 of our 10 saves. I'm going to basically just dick around here for a little bit, attempting to lure them closer. We're going to see if we have anything interesting. We sure do. So they're now close enough that I think we can rotate down here without losing them. And I might be able to just rotate all the way back to here. But I don't think they'll necessarily approach from the other side. I don't know that they'll rotate all the way to here. And it looks like they might. We might... Yes! Okay. So we're going to see, if I'm just standing right here behind this thing, can I get consistent results? The answer is no. This is pretty good, though. This is actually really quite good. This might be the way. We lost 1 character at the start of that, but we had like a huge pack. And despite having such a huge pack, we only lost 1 character, and it was during the initial wave at the start. The initial setup failed. So if we can get... just like... if we get this to work just a little bit better than that, like we're, I think, golden. So let's try this again. We're going to stand right here. This is, I think, not quite the exact same spot. I think we were a little closer. I think we were like here. But I think we're going to stand right back here. And at some point, you will approach. And we're actually blocked from more angles than you'd think. I think that this brazier in front of us blocks projectiles as well. So... not from the angle that we got there, unfortunately. And it's the same person who went down, which is very funny. But this one is now in a position where it can probably hit us, and it can and did. We need to be further forward to prevent that from locking out that way, I think. So let's try this again. Because the previous time, I don't think it was just like, oh, we got lucky and only novices did that. I don't think anybody did that. So we're going to go a little bit closer. We had basically the one rotated out and tagged me, but that only happened with 1 enemy just now. So let's see if we can figure out a nice, cozy spot. Like, hypothetically, we could stand right here, but I don't think this is going to work. I think we're too close to the enemies. I think they're going to hit me through the wall. Like, I think they'll be able to hit me through this doorway. Just flat out. And if they don't, they're going to rotate just slightly and just start blowing me up. That's my assumption about what's going to happen if I'm in this doorway. Yeah, we're already getting hit. So, I'm now slightly further back from the door, and that's not enough. Okay, that's interesting. So, being that far forward is bad. Being that far forward really killed me. We're going to do a little bit of a pull here. And the reason that I'm doing like as big a pull as I can is that I'd like to just finish the rest of this pack off in one pull if I have a viable pull for that, so that I don't have to do a bunch of saving with this pack. So, who's attacking me? Alright, so let's stand maybe here. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to figure out a way to do this with consistency. Are we too far out for that? I need to figure out the positioning that I had on the first attempt, because now I actually don't know where I was. A fairly small difference in your positioning is going to make an enormous difference in the how effective the strategy works. I don't think that these are going to do what I need them to do. We really are going to need to rely... Let's just be as deep into this corner as possible. We want to be simultaneously in the alcove and behind the brazier and hopefully in range. That's gonna kill me. Sure did. Can it still hit me? No, you all don't hit me. I don't think this one can hit me from back there. I think that actually is just getting blocked by the brazier. The other ones were not, but that one was there. Okay. I don't really want to rely on their finicky pull tendencies for this, but it's fine. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, you know what we should do? I don't think we pulled them all, right? We're gonna try the exterior actually, which is the thing that I'd originally intended to set up. So we tried this corner, and it wasn't accomplishing our objectives. The issue with this corner is a problem because if they're in that doorway, they're going to get hit by the fireball. Right? Like, if I'm standing here, that thing is going to get hit by the fireball, and when it gets hit by the fireball, so do I. Right? Okay, I killed the Master Monk. I think it's possible for them to be standing there and not getting hit by the fireball. This is a bad idea. Okay. There's the other Master. Ooh, wait, you didn't die. Alright. Okay, we're going to stand here. That does seem to be hitting the Master Monk. It's not anymore. Shit. Okay, so we moved, which released it. Okay, you're moving. Where the fuck did you go? Did you teleport back home because you got confused? No. No, you did not. Okay. Fuck. Okay, that... I was wondering if that brazier would block its projectile, and it does not. Not when it's standing right next to it, anyway. Okay, we're gonna stand right here. If this thing breaks through... It's not necessarily the end of the world. Okay, I think we just killed 2 of them, right? 2 of the top tiers. So... We're at 9% clearance. How many more do we have in this pack? Not a ton. Not a ton. It honestly would probably make more sense. It would be nice to come up with like a really nice, consistent strategy for these monks, but I don't know that such a thing necessarily exists. Okay, we've got 1 master and 1 initiate here. If I clear these 2, I think that's when we will save. We'll then have 1 more to clear. We can save once we've cleared that one. Okay, that one's toast. That one's toast. We can save this. We've got a 1/6 of what we need done to finish the entire dungeon. And there are 3 left. I'm curious if we can use this table to do... No, because there's a shit ton of skeletons. Okay, we're gonna reload. I'm glad that I just saved, because I forgot. I can't believe I forgot about the gong. So we're gonna pop over here. We're gonna get the last 3 of these. And then once we've cleared them out, we will... I think we will just save off the back of that. And then we're going to basically just start doing the corners. The goal being to... to finish the the ones that start out spawned, to just not have to deal with the summons until we've already gotten the ability to leave the dungeon. That will mean that we're not going to get like treasure chests for way longer. Like, we're basically going to skip getting access to all of the cool loot for a very long time. I don't know how aggressively I need to protect myself against the spiders. More aggressively than this, I'm sure. Okay. So we have a huge spider. We're going to try to get to... I think we might go straight for 20% before we save. Okay, we got some skeletons here. I'm a little concerned about the skeletons. What level are you? Can't tell. So presumably higher than level 23. Okay, we've cleared you. I'm gonna go to the next one of these to try to pull the first pack again, because I should have better vision on the first packs, I think. Ooh, we got a bit more than I'd like to have gotten there. Oh god! A bit more? More like a swift more, am I right? Okay, so that is a problem. Let's go into here. I want to see... I seem to recall, because this is a tidy little room, I feel like we can probably get some good work done with these. Potentially. Like, especially if we have the ability to survive, like, a single attack. God, the zippity-zip. Jesus! Why are you behind me? Rude. Alright, so... I don't know how we're going to deal with this swift spider. It is very fast. It is a very scary movie type of thing here. So do I have a means of dealing with you? We'll find out. We'll just run. We've picked up a bajillion enemies, but the most important one... Where the fuck did you come from? Why were you there?
No match for me.
Okay. Okay. That is way more than I need to see. This is a huge spider. Okay. What's an idea for a boss? Them teleporting behind you? Just do full Dragon Ball boss. Your eyes are too fast for your feet. At this rate, it'll take you 10 years to catch me. Oh shit! That's the swift one. It's so far forward. It's so far forward. I should have just run. I should have just run. I should have just run. Should have just run. Okay, it did not lock itself in that corner. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, but yeah, we need to deal with that boss first. That boss is gonna be a problem. And I think. Okay, that's where it's coming from. I think it's coming from the right side. So we jump down here. This isn't open. Oh god. So that's right there. Very rude. Okay, so it's still there. We're gonna be in trouble here, aren't we? Okay. Let's take a look here. I think that in the past... Yeah, no Wizard Eye... It's much closer to being just a straight-up horror game when you're dealing with swift spiders without Wizard Eye. Like, the combination of factors is very spooky. Could you not? Could you not? I wanted to, like... I wanted to, like, practice something. And then you just didn't want me to. And it made me sad. I'm gonna try to get. I seem to recall the enemies getting semi-consistently stuck in that passageway in the little crevices, and what I'm hoping for is that I can basically like whittle the pack down. God damn it. To just like a few on me by just like rotating all the way to the end, rather than going to one of the things early on. Because I was thinking I could potentially like get some attacks in while they're like basically like out of line of sight, but I'm not sure if this is a change that's been made or if it's just unfortunate luck for me, but it feels to me like enemies that how am I in the green already? It killed 2 people and then ran so far away that I got into the green. What the fuck, man? Okay, we're actually going to clear some of these first. The reason being that we're standing right here on our save, and I would prefer to do so. So what we're going to do is we're going to go stand all the way at the back here. The hope being that some of these spiders will decide to get stuck in the corners instead of approaching me. See, like, this has gotten stuck right here. And this will allow us to sort of like whittle the pack down a bit before rather than having to deal with all of them immediately. I am a little concerned. I feel like it's possible that that'll only work on the spiders. I'm now realizing I don't think the skeletons can walk up these platforms. So, as long as it doesn't do that... Oh, did it rotate down? It rotated down again. Okay. Seems slightly confused. Damn. How much HP do you have? You're at about half life. It's funny having, like, the curse not actually be that relevant. You have truly baffling pathing. Okay. So that's the thing that happened. So let's go back down here. And we can just pull some more enemies. We are gonna try to get to 20% if we can. And we're just gonna pull a bajillion enemies. Because I like to live dangerously. And I do think the skeletons might be something that we're mostly safe from. Because they can't just walk up here. So we're basically just looking to lock in over here and deal with whatever spiders approach us, then deal with the spiders that don't approach us, and then deal with the skeletons. Who's attacking? What the fuck? They have a ranged attack now, so they think they're getting line of sight. Okay. Jeez! The one thing that came in was a skeleton. This is exactly what I was not trying to have happen. Oh, look at that, though. Oh, that is so beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful to look at. Look at that. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be great. Okay, we are going to just run over here. We're aggroing as many as we can. We're dodging the projectiles. My troll is extremely tanky, yes. I have like 700 max HP. $752. Okay. No. Yeah, it's a two shot. It's doing probably about 400 damage would be doing this. We regen enough HP to not die to that attack. This is excellent. We're gonna have to. Okay, this is fine. We're 14%. We are using cover this run. This is a run where we actually do have cover set up on the troll, and I think I turned it off. I sure hope I turned it off on the other person, considering they're the one who's diseased. I think I did turn it off, but I might. It might. Ooh, we're dead. Yeah, this room doesn't have a way to escape if things go badly. I'm gonna check. I don't think that room is going to accomplish the objective that I need it to accomplish. So, we're going to try a couple of other things. We're going to pop in here. These wings are too long, I think, for this strategy to work. It's also probably too wide. I don't think that most of the enemies are going to get stuck in here. We can use this to, like, sift them through, like, slower. But that's not really sufficient for our needs. Because, like, things like these skeleton knights can one-shot most of my party. Let's see. So, that goes there. That goes to the entrance. Try to think. I'm wondering if maybe the bath would be. Wow, just whiffed so many attacks in a row. Oh god. Well, poor play on my part. What do I want to do? I need to figure out something. I think part of the problem is that I'm weirdly being impatient in a way that's killing me. Where, like, the correct strategy involves sort of, like, diligent, like, single pulling, and I'm not doing that. I'm instead trying to find, like, a quick solution to the problem that may or may not even exist. So we grab this. That allows us to go to the east side. And hypothetically, we could go in here and then immediately charge and see what happens. If we immediately run this... You just got one shot. Okay, so a normal skeleton can one-shot my characters. That's a great sign for me. Shit. But what we did see there was that when we did that, with that approach, the enemies did mostly just wander to the sides. And if they wander to the sides... Oh, that's interesting. It is random enemies, I think. I thought that these were preset packs. Oh boy. We're in deep shit. The Skeleton Lord will definitely kill anybody that it hits. Alright, so they did eventually come in. If I could get... I mean, hypothetically though, so if I can get them to just back off at the very start, I can run through to the other place. So let's see what happens if I do something like this. So we do this, and then we run straight forward. And unfortunately, we didn't get the ability to run as far forward as we needed to go. Okay, this has way too much HP for me to... I can't melee kite around here successfully because they're just got too much HP. I feel so weak. Am I usually this weak at this point in the run? I'm wondering how much of this is tied to the fact that I don't have things like heroism and bless and stuff like that, and how much of it is tied to not having found certain other things. One's down. Okay. Oh, God. Let's see. Guys, I'm just trying to think if, like, if I'm missing something in terms of... So we've changed the routing. So in this one, I did Might Magic 7 first. So part of what it might be is we would be at this level. I think we would be in a different location. Right? So, like, I think that we'd be at a different location at this level normally, but I could be wrong. It's hard to say because it's about like where the things, as we jump around the different places where we end up. But no, I think that we should be probably around here, around this level. I just don't know, because I feel like I'm very much like all of my characters are getting instigated. It's preservation. This is preservation. Well, I don't usually go to Bootleg Bay before I go to Iron Fist. That's definitely non-standard for me. So no preservation means that I'm dying at like negative 50 hit points, instead of negative 300 hit points, right? Like, that's a pretty big difference right there. We could go pick up Preservation to throw onto Ruben. But that's not allowed, though. We can't actually do that now that I think about it, because if we're going to do that, we have to finish the caster run first. Them's the rules, right? Let's see. We cleared out that room. I think that what I need to do is I think I need to get to the bathhouse. And like, even if I get everybody killed in the process of getting to the bathhouse, I think I just need to get over there. Because... Which means that I do need to go into the room to pick up the key. And then we come back out. You are... Everything's fine. So we're walking into the bathhouse now. And it's this room, I believe. So we walk into this room. This room, I was thinking that there would be more of an elevation change that is not here. So, we get the storeroom key. We're not going to loot any of the like actual items from the chest because I don't want to. That's information that I don't want to have right now. So, nothing came in when I got that. These start out in this hallway. Good fucking luck. So, we'll see if this corner does anything useful for us. My guess is no. That certainly seems like a no. They were attacking us before they became visible. You know, I was thinking that this place was going to be easier. Let me take a look here. I'm going to... Oh, do I only have one Identify Monster skill? Oh! I must have had an item that gave me Identify Monster. Give me a second. I'm going to equip my ID Monster items. Which, maybe I give that to somebody else, actually. Just to... Because it had something else that I needed. Yes, it had the HP. So, we're going to throw this on you. I don't think this will be enough to be able to identify the skeletons, but we're going to check. It's not enough for the skeletons. The giant spiders are level 23. The huge spiders are level 27. I could, in theory, calculate from there if I remembered what the base level difference between a spider and a skeleton is. But I don't remember that offhand. I think it would have been on you. I'm just trying to see if I have another thing of identification. Because I felt like I had more than one. But I might have sold the other ones. It's possible that I sold them. Which would be fairly unfortunate, because I actually would like to know this right now. It's power 50. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this to see if that is enough. It's not. It's not sufficient. Okay. Because I still have the thing on, right? Yeah, okay. We're gonna load. So, what are we gonna do about this? It's crazy that I feel like the Dragoon stronghold might actually be just as reasonable to do as this is. I guess I could try just pulling like tiny packs at a time. Until I finish 60% of the dungeon, but that's going to take a really long time, and I only have 5 saves to do it. I was anticipating that this section over here would be easier than this. I don't have enough skill to identify the thingers. The giant spiders, I think, are 23. Might have been the normal spiders. We'll find out. Let's see. This is... So the huge spiders are level 27. I was standing at the fireball trap. Oh, God. Why am I playing so badly? Let's see. So how many did we pull? All of them. We pulled that entire pack. Yeah, it looks like most of these probably can't one-shot. The top tiers might be able to. So if I could just get it down to a bunch of spiders that aren't bosses, I could probably farm a decent bit of progress off of just those spiders. The issue is that I do need to kill like more than half of the enemies in the zone. So, considering how low the value is for the monks that we've already beaten, you seem very confused, friends. Extremely confused. Man, that is gonna be pretty rough when they inevitably all start attacking me at once. Okay, we got a cutlass. It's got 29 HP on it. It's not terrible. Okay. Unfortunately, the Skeleton Knight can just kill people. God, that did 500 damage. The 500 damage! 500! Did 500 damage. Ooh. Okay, I need to check something. We're gonna go to okay, we're gonna look at what level a huge spider is. And we're going to look at what level a skeleton is. Where are you, skeleton? So a huge spider has a base level of 12. So the baseline skeleton has a level of 6. So baseline, the skeleton should be 21 at the lowest, I believe. Which isn't that crazy. Right? That probably puts the top tier somewhere around level 30. I could check, but I'm not going to. So... I'm not sure. I can check. Give me a second. Let's see, we have 97 on you. We have 84. Not a lot. 39 on our plate wearer. We do not have a lot of armor class right now. So what is the actual percentage reduction on that? This in theory should be about 30% damage reduction. So if we do the math on that, that would be what? Like, if you take 30% off of 700. So it's somewhere around 650 base damage, I would assume. Which seems like a lot. 650 base damage for a skeleton knight seems like a lot. How much? What's your base damage? I can't see what your base damage is. They're definitely hitting like trucks. There seems like a very big difference between just a few levels of these enemies. I feel like the brigand enemies were hitting extremely hard compared to the rogue enemies, who are similar in level. Like, the rogue enemies were not consistently one-shotting me. Like, the top-tier rogues, I don't think were consistently one-shotting Cheesesteak, even. But the top-tier brigands would one-shot anybody in my party. Like, huge difference between those two. I am wondering if, since I haven't found anything super clever to do here, I'm wondering if maybe we're better off reverting back to trying to do the Dragoon Stronghold. Because this is going to be real rough. The other dungeon we could try to do is Corligans, which is an insane thing to even consider, because that's just not going to happen. I don't have anything cheesy enough in Corligans to realistically think that I can make that work. If I had jump, I could handle this entire dungeon. This dungeon with jump, no problem. I can just drag every enemy upstairs. We've already done what we need to do to clear the entire dungeon with jump. Like, we just can wade into all of the enemies and bring all of them up to that room. No problem, right? Just stand up there. Nothing can reach us. We're all good. The spiders can shoot me, but they're not that relevant. And I think there's still some monks left, but those packs we'd have to deal with a bit differently. But and if I could get jump, I could also jump out of that window at the start of the Dragoon Stronghold, which would allow me to use the bridges. Unfortunately, I don't have the jump spell, and I'm wondering if I've reached the limit of what I can realistically do without getting access to buffs. Because we got haste, which is pretty lucky, but I think without preservation, we're still in really deep trouble. And even if we didn't have even if we had preservation wouldn't necessarily do as much for me as I would like it to, because I'd have to cast it with a very squishy character, which is obviously suboptimal. Is it time for the last 40 minutes? Are we going to start up the caster run? Because I'm trying to think, and I don't know that. I think we're kind of beating our head against the wall here in a way that is not the most interesting thing I could be doing with my time. I think we maybe do the caster run. Let's do that. So we're going to exit out of the game, and I should probably reinstall the multiplayer thing so that I don't keep getting this error code at the beginning, but that's fine. We'll do that later. Which place do we go? Let's do the same basic thing that we were doing just now. So we're gonna go with free combinations.
My strength.
Competent.
I'm good.
Choose me.
So let's figure out what classes exist. Do we want a druid? We have a lot of different types of casters that exist. It would be funny to bring a dragon to a caster run. Like, actually, that would be funny. So we might end up doing that, but probably not. We can bring a cleric if we want. We definitely need an elementalist. Because elementalist sounds like a fun thing to play with. Interesting. So increases damage per stack. Mana cost increases each stack. So you're gonna cast a random spell of a given type when you cast. I didn't realize that. Interesting. So let's go with an elementalist. What should be our naming convention for our caster run? What kind of fancy what's a fancy thing we could do? Actually, we could just name them after corvids. That could be kind of fun to do. Let's name them after corvids. I think that would be fun. So, let's see. Or maybe just cute birds in general. So, the elementalist is... I'm going to name them Mina. Because Minas are cool and cute, and I like Minas. So, the elementalist should be... What species?
Fame and I will sacrifice you. Hello. Here I am.
I'm your hello. I'm your man. Choose me for your quest.
You know what? I think I know what I want to do.
I will.
I think we're gonna make them all trolls.
I want.
Choose me for great.
Just because I think it's funny.
I will conquer.
Okay, so you're gonna be Mina. You're going to be a elementalist. This is the way, okay? This is the strat. It's gonna be a full troll party. I was thinking, well, I could make them all liches. That could be kind of fun. But no, this is way more fun. So we're gonna give you water and earth, because that will allow us to get access to all 4 elements before we leave the first island. I think that's what we want to do. Let's check identify item. We can get GM identify. We can get GM identify monster. How are we on merchant? Terrible. How are we on alchemy? GM. Perfect. So, we need to figure out who can use disarm from the spellcasters, but that's fine. You don't need to increase your might. We don't need any of this garbage. We don't need any of this garbage. We're just going to increase our speed. That's not what I should do. That's not what I should do. Let's max out our endurance. That seems like the thing I should probably do, is max out my endurance. We can increase our speed as well, because that is actually pretty useful. We don't need accuracy, because we're not going to be using those kinds of attacks. And you know what? We don't need luck. Screw luck. Okay, nailed it. This is exactly what we're rolling with. This is the way to work. Why would an elementalist need intelligence, right? It's silly to even think. Now, next on our agenda is another troll. So let's set the portraits up first.
You could do worse.
The middle target is going to be a dragon.
Greetings. I'm your man. Greetings.
And we will make them a dragon. We're not going to change what species they are. So, we can give you regeneration, and we can give you identify monster, because you just don't have any skills whatsoever. Just none. Okay, so drop this, everything into endurance. Wait, why can my endurance go up to 50? That's interesting. Dragons have real good base stats. Holy shit. I mean, it makes sense because they don't have access to like the same gearing considerations. I just didn't realize that was going to be coming into play here as well. So, we need another troll.
I will serve. I will serve me.
Okay. I will serve me! Now, we have an elementalist. They can presumably get Grand Mastery in all of the elements. It's right there in the name. So, we want Grandmaster in light and dark. And how do we want to do that? We can get GM light from a cleric if we want. Which probably makes a degree of sense. But a cleric is so durable, you know?
Choose me.
So, oh, I'm switching the portrait instead of switching the thing. A cleric's so durable, right? So, druids have... I think druid is going to serve a similar function to elementalist for this particular run, so probably don't need to worry about that. Everyone that I'm going to pick has to have access to GM in something. Shamans, I think, get access to Grand Mastery, but they're supposed to hit things to get their mana back. So I feel like Shaman is not appropriate for the run. Unfortunately, I love shamans, and unfortunately, they're not appropriate for what I'm trying to do with a full caster run, I think. It's tempting to bring one anyway. But I think that it's a shaman deserves to be in a melee party. Let's see here. Monk. Druid Dragon. Seraphim have access to GM Light. We could go with a Necromancer. Necromancers get access to GM Fire. So Necromancers actually get access to GM Dark alongside Grand Mastery and all the other stuff, apparently. I had thought that had been changed, but apparently not. So we could do this if we wanted. A Necromancer seems like a good thing to bring. Necromancer seems like fun. And a Troll Necromancer is a beautiful thing. So our Troll Necromancer should be probably Raven, right? When I've picked the undead versions in the past, they haven't really worked. they've like I picked the undead minotaur and it just turned them into like a normal human. Do you know which undead models work and which don't? Because I tried using the undead minotaur just now. I don't know where you got that impression, Astro Kitty. That seems like that's a strange question. I don't understand the question. We just finished the cast run yesterday. Let's see. Change the text file. I'll think about it. I do kind of like the idea of the mirror effect here. I think that it's kind of fun. We're basically making the anti-Lich run that we just had. But I'll consider it. Can I just change the portrait after the fact? It doesn't matter. So we have Necromancer. Vampires technically get access to GM Mind. It would be kind of funny to use Mind as a primary damage ability. That might be a fun thing to do. I don't know if I would want to do it on this. Wait. I'd have access to Mist Form. Mist Form on a pure caster build? We're gonna try it out. We're gonna see what Mist Form looks like on a mind developed vampire. Because we can get Grandmaster Mind. So I think that's the way. Especially, no, we can't disarm trap. Who can? Does Dragon get disarm trap to a decent level? This is the question for the ages. Disarm trap. We would get alchemy. We have alchemy already on the elemental list. Identify monster. We can get GM on that. We could just... So we take mind magic, and we could just pick up... Let's see. I might need to take a look at the file that tells me which characters can get what levels of things, just so that I can look at Disarm Trap. Disarm Trap is more rare than you'd think to get up to decent values. I need at least mastery on one of the characters. I do think that this would be a fun thing to do. We're going to take regen. We'd get Grandmaster regen. This could be very fun. Like a caster... vampire. Let's see. What kind of a cute bird makes sense as a vampire? I'm trying to think of like what bird would you describe as like actually like tanky and difficult to like take down? Because that is very not bird-like. That's not a very bird-like attribute. See. Honestly, maybe something like geese, right? Because like geese specialize in intimidation, which is a mind magic effect. This is going to be our goose. This is our goose. Okay, we've got a goose. We've got a raven. We need to name our dragon. Okay, what's the most... Oh, this is probably pretty easy. What are the... the things called. They're so cool looking. Do we go with emu or the other one that has a has a cooler name? What are the other things called? You have emus and they have a really cool name. What's that thing called? Gonna Google birds like emus. I think it starts with a C or something. Birds like emus. Cassowary. Cassowary. Let's go with cassowary. Ostriches are really big, but cassowaries remind me the most of dinosaurs. Like cassowaries and emus just have like they look so unusual. So I'm going to go with cassowary because cassowary is a cool name. We have goose, raven, myna, and you are a vampire. So we have access to... We're missing GM Light. We're missing GM Light. It's actually tempting... It's tempting to build a full caster seraph, because seraphs start with light. And that could be fun. So, if we make a seraph, they have GM Light. They don't have a ton of mana to play with. And we don't have a lot in terms of... I don't remember what the starting spells are with light magic. But paladins don't start with light. So I wouldn't want to do a paladin. A cleric doesn't start with light, but it does start as a dedicated spellcaster, right? But I think I like the idea of pairing the necromancer with the seraphim and having a caster run that doesn't include either a mage or a cleric, right? I think that's kind of a fun way to run it. Just be like, oh, we're doing the caster run. Don't have any of the classic spellcasters in the party. I think because we have a vampire in the party for our dedicated caster run. They're not going to get any dagger still. To be clear, they are going to be a dedicated spellcaster. We are not cheating and being like, oh, okay. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Oh, in 8 they started with light magic? Yeah, we wouldn't start with it in merge. I think the only class that can start with light is the seraphim. I think this is what we're gonna do. We go sword and meditation, because we need the meditation right off the bat. I said sword instead of shield. I don't think paladins can get light magic until they're promoted, right? Because paladins can either get light or dark depending on whether they go villain or hero. So they wouldn't be able to access either of them until their final promotion. Which is the same with the priests, right? Priests also need their final promotion in 7 to get access to basic levels, and I think that's been brought over to the thing. So starting with light, I think, requires seraph. Because they're not subject to the light dark dichotomy, right? Because you could get in Might Magic 6, you could get access to light and dark magic from the beginning if you were able to. So, what is the holiest of birds? What is the most divine bird? The first character is Mina the Elementalist. We have a necromancer, we have a dragon, we have a vampire, and a seraphim. I think this is a... Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Do we want to mirror... Do we want to do a mirroring effect on that? I think the light and dark caster makes sense to put on here. So we'll swap Goose to be the Seraphim. And so we're giving you what? Shield and meditation. And then you are going to be whatever the class was that I was just talking about. What were you? I chose to make you Goose because you were super durable because you were a vampire. Okay, vampire. Named Goose. Okay, so we have the pairing of the Seraph and this. This is not necessarily the most coherent pairing, but that's fine. What are we naming our Seraph? Let's see. What do we want to call you? It's tempting to name you Owl, just because having the light spellcaster be the only nocturnal bird in the party is kind of funny. I might name you Owl. Unless I think of something that's sillier than Owl. Let's see. Are there any really cute birds that I'm missing out on? I wouldn't want to make a bird-themed party and not have one of them named Mina, because Minas are so cute. We do have some really cute chickens downstairs. For some reason, the jungle fowl, because things that are basically chickens, they're called jungle fowl, are native to this region. And so they're wild birds, though. These are wild animals, not domesticated chickens. But the jungle fowl have really started springing up like crazy in the last few years in Singapore. They're all over the place. And there's one downstairs that's just so goddamn cute, and it's figured out that it can jump up onto the handrails, because there's a ramp that has handrails downstairs, because it's for disabled people to have access. Instead of a staircase, there's the ramp that they can use, which has the railing. But it's realized that it can jump up on the railing. So every time I go downstairs, this jungle fowl is just chilling on the railing and just kind of strutting, and then it'll see someone, and for some unknown reason, when it sees a person approaching, it's oh, there's a person approaching. I'd better get down off of the railing. And it just drops down from the railing. But it doesn't, like, run away. It's still, like, very close to you. It's just like, oh, excuse me, you might need to use this railing. I'd better jump off of that. So it just, like, goes, and then just, like, hops down. Very funny. Anyway, birds are cute. Do I want to make a jungle fowl? You know what? You will be jungle fowl. I don't know if that's one word or not. But we're going to call you jungle fowl, because that's... Because I just told a whole story about jungle fowl. It would be weird to not have one on the list. Okay, so... We have a cassowary dragon. We have Goose the vampire. Goose the vampire doesn't have skills. We will give you mind magic. We will give you regeneration. I'm now realizing, wait, do we have anybody who can get disarm mastery? It is tempting to use telekinesis. To just use telekinesis when we get later into the game and call it a day, because it is the spellcaster run. You know what? I think that we're not going to worry about it. We'll figure out who can get what skill level, and hopefully we can loot stuff the entire game, and maybe we blow up a few times. We'll just have to find out. So we'll have an entire party that has access to regeneration. You have mastery, right? So we have one character with Grand Mastery, actually. The vampire is going to be doing well there. You have mind and regen already. You have shield and meditation. I think that's appropriate. Regen, identify monster. Fire and air is not what I need. We need to take water, because we're starting in a place where we can get air and fire. And do we want to take two of these? I think actually no. We're not going to take air. Do we need water to... No, we don't need water to start. We'll take meditation to start, because that way we don't have to pick it up immediately. We will have... Because I should have that on basically everybody. So meditation, air magic. You have water magic. You should probably have meditation, but you don't have access to it yet, which is fine. Why do you have dagger? Okay. So earth, water... seems reasonable. Air, meditation seems reasonable. Meditation, regen, and identify monster. You start out with dragon ability to use fear. We're going to treat the dragon's normal attack like a spell for now, but I'm not super happy about it now that I think about it. I'm not super happy about the idea of using that normal attack, but it's fine. We're not going to worry about it for now. They're spellcasters. They cheat. It's fine. And there we go. We get the 1 point of luck. Then we have Goose. Mind. Drop this, drop this, drop this. Endurance to max. Drop this. Drop this by 1. Get speed up to max. And I think we're ready. We're ready to start up the caster run. So, hello, everybody. Okay, we've got enough EXP to level already. You don't have the right stats. I forgot to change the stats on Raven. That's fine. So we have access to mastery in all of this already. We already have master meditation available as well. So let's see what spells we start with as we... where should we call this? We'll save this over caster save, because the caster save is new. Okay. We have Firebolt. No, we don't. We can't learn anything with you because you are an elementalist, and you don't believe in that shit. Okay, the 5 endurance we're going to give to the person who has garbage endurance. Toxic Cloud and Featherfall. And Disarm +4 is pretty clutch to start the game with a party that sucks at Disarm. Okay, that's pretty clutch, actually. We don't need the Might Ring. Let's see. remove fear. That will be super useful. We'll go ahead and give you the personality thing. That's all. Look at the fucking SP increase. Okay. Going from 5 to 9 personality. Let's see. Destroy Undead is a thing that I have access to. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Spell points, luck, alchemy. Let's see. We have 5 grand. So let's find out what spells everybody is casting off the bat. So you have Firebolt. I guess we're casting a random spell, right? So we're doing a single target spell of some sort. We'll cast something whenever we do that. That's great. You have Toxic Cloud, which costs 15 SP. We can activate Wizard Eye if we want. Do we want to activate Wizard Eye right off the bat? Yeah, let's activate Wizard Eye. We'll just keep Wizard Eye maintained. Look at that. We really are a caster save. Okay, we're gonna have Toxic Cloud be our default spell. I don't know the details on it specifically. It's like dragons have like better, looks like triple scaling with the rings because they can't equip basically anything else. Which occurs to me, maybe I should put something like this onto them, but that's fine because it doesn't really matter. So dragon ability is the only thing I'm going to need to be investing into for you. I guess I need a regen as well. Let's see. So you are set. You don't have a spell you need to cast. Bonus hit chance per spell. Okay. I'm not going to worry about fear. That could be fun to use later, but for now we're fine. So Light Bolt does 12 plus 1 to 2 points of skill in light magic. This does 45 plus 1 to 45. This is going to be crazy. When we get to the areas where we're actually we're actually fighting undead. Oh man, that's going to be out of control. So remove fear and meditation. This is clutch. The meditation thing that we have here will allow everybody to regenerate mana, and we can use life drain as your spell. That, I think, makes sense. I think that we are going to not use any equipment that doesn't matter. So, like, we're not going to equip a weapon until we get a weapon that boosts our spellcraft in some way, right? So I think that that's how we're going to handle that. We're going to go ahead and turn the tour off. You can have fun somewhere else, Margaret. So, what do we need to do right now? We need to go to pick up some skills. We need to pick up the meditation skill. Let's take a look at how much regen we start with. We have 1.2, 1.2. Everybody has 1.2, which is interesting. I have like less than 0.1 coming from my one meditation skill, apparently. Let's see here. But yeah, we should pick up regen and meditation. We'll pick up regen. We'll pick up meditation. You can't pick up meditation. No, you already have it. Never mind. Don't worry. I was thinking about the elementalist, but you're not the elementalist. Okay, we'll pick up regeneration, and we'll pick up meditation. Do we now have meditation on everybody? Meditation, 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 meditation. Everybody has meditation. I guess we could pick up merchant. We'll figure out who is a good merchant.
Do you need healing?
You should be a good merchant. You're a dragon. Dragons are great at... Nope. Dragons are not, it turns out,
Do you need healing?
the most amazing merchants. Vampires should be good at merchant, right? Yeah, you are. Perfect. Oh, wait, you're a seraph. Vampire, seraph, same difference. Okay. Let's see. Let's go for Disarm Trap. We'll see if we can get Mastery with Cassowary, maybe?
Come in, come in.
Actually, we could just pick it up on as many people as possible and see who can get good with it. You can't even get Expert. You know, that's not super surprising, actually. Seraphim can get... Seraph can get 100%. So, take Disarm Trap on you. And now, you have Disarm Trap. You have Merchant available. This is going to be great. Everybody has baseline regen, which is going to be really useful at the very beginning. It's not going to be super useful later on, but it'll be somewhat useful probably for most of the game. Just having that little bit of regen built in, because I think it scales with my HP, so it should get better over time. It's just not going to be amazing for most of these characters. Some of them are going to be crazy though. So we now have that set up. Toxic Cloud we can only use once before needing to wait. Let's see here. Grab this. Grab some money. Repair skill. Love that for me. Also, disarm. We had a disarm ring. Where's our disarm ring? There it is. Slap this onto you. You now have 5 disarm trap. Well, you don't. You have 1. You have 2. But you'll have access to 9 when you get to that. No, you'll have access to 8 when you get to 4. I don't know why I was thinking of 5. 5 is not a super relevant skill. But yeah, we'll probably be done on Disarm Trap for quite a while then. So, can anybody... I guess I should probably get the memberships to the guilds. And I think on Monday we will be doing this run. Unfortunately, it took me so long to get it started that we're not going to have that much time to dick around. Let's kill a few of the... Yeah, oh god. Well, the first thing we're actually going to be doing is killing that dragon, now that I think about it. That was the routing that we had done previous time. And I kind of like that as a routing strategy. I think we'll kill the dragon first. So, with that being the case, we don't need to fight anything. Anything else that we need to pick up? I don't think so. Let's pick up some more skills, maybe?
The Guild of the Spirit welcomes you.
So you're going to be just casting random bullshit.
Welcome to the air.
You can pick up air magic. So that'll give me another potential spell to cast as well, I think. Like, we'll just randomly be casting
The Guild of the Body.
nonsense. We can pick up body skill on you if we want. I think we should probably look at getting enlightenment on somebody. Do we want to pick up enlightenment on you since you're... No, let's get it on you. Because you're maintaining a spell with most of your mana. That was probably the good play, because I think that we didn't have enough mana just now, but I'm not positive. I think we couldn't have actually cast our life drain once. So I think we're actually going to end things here for today. We're not going to do any fighting yet. Next time we will start out the caster save, like for realsies. We're going to do it. We're going to start up this caster save properly, and we will basically. I think we're gonna start with the dragon. We're gonna just dive the dragon. I think it'll work fine. We should have so much endurance. Like, we're gonna have the Day of the Gods pedestal. There's only one character that I didn't like just pump endurance with. So I think it's going to be good. So that's going to be on Monday. So thank you everyone for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I hope to see you again next time when we'll be finally doing the caster run. Later, folks.